I would start the session because we are already 145. And as we have plenty of information here to share, I would suggest we start with a meeting. So welcome everybody. My name is Stan Falden. I'm the business domain manager for the sustainability domain at Catena-X. And today we present you the Catena-X Automotive Network PCF Certified Solutions pitch session. And this is going to be our agenda. A second. Yes. So we will have a very quick info from Hanno, who's the Operations and Governance Managing Director here at Catena-X. Then we will see Till Ullmann from Volkswagen, who is the lead of the methodology expert group here at Catena for the motivation behind Catena-X PCF use case. Then we will have the certified applications provider presenting you all the apps in alphabetical order. And yeah, afterwards we will have a Q&A session. And the Q&A session, we kindly ask you for it to use the Slido link that we will provide in the chat, or scan the Q&A poll here that we will have, the QR code for the Q&A poll that we will have, we will be providing on some slides, because we will only process the questions that are submitted in Slido. Exactly, this is for the Q&A part. And then I will do the summary and wrap up for you about the session. So then, Hanno, stage is yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Stan. And welcome everybody to our second official Catena-X pitch session. As you might recall, we are right now in the process of scaling Catena-X globally, together with our hubs, together with the association, together with our certified providers, meaning we are far beyond, let's say, a project stage, a research stage, and so on. But like we have a project, we have the actual environment up and running, we have service providers certified, and we have multiple business processes running on the system by this point over 100 data providers and consumers. Meaning, let's say it's time to get real with radical collaboration, and we do this best, ideally, if we showcase, let's say, not just the theory, not just the pretty slides, but the actual solutions that are working with Catena-X standards. And for that, we assume that most of you in the room have a general understanding of what Catena-X is. Therefore, like today, I'm going to limit myself to just one slide to highlight the summaries. If you're interested more in learning about Catena-X in general, we have a pretty new website, thanks to our communications director. Please go there. And a monthly information web seminar that covers the basics of Catena. So happy to have you and welcome you also there. But quickly on what is Catena. Catena is a multi-tier collaboration data ecosystem, meaning we specialize in finding a way to transfer data all the way through the automotive value chain, respecting principles such as data sovereignty, data security in this firm, but most importantly for today, interoperability. Meaning for us, it does not matter if you work with this solution provider or this solution provider, because they all are based on the same standards and they can work together without manually integrating each other. At the same time, on our system, we focus on trust, meaning that every participant on the network is, let's say, identified, its identity has been verified, and we all operate under a common governance framework that has been designed and implemented by the industry itself, meaning like not a service provider, but like the OEMs, suppliers, IT outfitters of the industry itself. So with that said, this will be the baseline for the product carbon footprint pitch session, because as you might recall, product carbon footprint requires specifically that primary data from each partner in your supply chain all the way down to your origin source of your material. And for that, I would like to hand over to Till from Volkswagen, who will take us deeper into one of the top use cases for Catena-X this year.
Yeah, thank you, Hanno. Welcome also from my side. Yeah, as Stan said, I'm currently the leader of the PCF methodology and verification working group. And yeah, today I want to present you why the PCF use case is so important and why how we have integrated it in Catena-X. Most of the important stakeholders in the automotive supply chain have set themselves ambitious CO2 targets, have a decarbonization route, and therefore it's very important to have valuable or good data. And I will show it to you in the next slides here. Firstly, the biggest decarbonization measure by far in the automotive sector is the electrification of the drivetrain. And as you can see here, when you change the drivetrain from internal combustion to battery electric vehicle, the use phase here on the right side, the CO2 emissions will go down significantly, and therefore the share of the emissions in the production phase will rise, and not only the share, but also if you have to produce batteries, the total amount of the CO2 emissions in the production stage of the overall PCF of the lifetime of a vehicle. So if you can go to the next slide. The status quo is, I can speak for us as Volkswagen, but most OEMs, I think, are working currently with secondary data. That means they use averages of they use the bill of materials, and then they use averages of the materials they use. And of course, if you have reduction measures in your supply chain and specific reduction measures in the supply chain, you want to make them somehow measurable. And therefore, it's very important to get those specific, we call it primary data, from the supply chain. And we use the secondary data because this supply chain is not there at the moment. We ask our suppliers, what are you doing? What are your reduction measures? And then every supplier starts to calculate and reports different numbers, and we don't know where do the numbers come from, and what they in the end what they mean. And then when they give us the numbers, they are often most of the time not verified, and therefore we cannot use them for our reporting. So if you go to the next slide, Stan, then we can see what we need. I said it partly in the first slides. We need comparability. If you have two aluminum or steel suppliers and they have to calculate the same with the same rules. Therefore, the methodology is very important. And in the ramp up, it's called here, but in the I think at least upcoming next 5 years, there will be also secondary data needed, because you won't have data from every supplier, and therefore it is important that at least everyone uses the same secondary data, so that we have the comparability. Then we need reliability, which means we want accepted, verified PCFs, which we can use for our reporting in the end. Those solutions, as you can see on the right side, we have a long, complicated supply chain in the automotive industry, and therefore it's not only the OEM asking his suppliers, but also the tier 1 has to ask the tier 2, and so on until the raw material producer, and therefore we need compatible solutions, because the chain has to go on, and can't stop somewhere because the software isn't compatible with the other software. And at least in the beginning, also in the future, there won't be only one software which everybody is using. But for this, we will hear more when the solution providers will present afterwards. And in the end, we want to have an aligned governance and evolution of standards, and that's not only for the automotive industry, but also for other industries. We're talking to industry agnostic projects like the PEC project from the World Business Council of Sustainable Development, or the Together for Sustainability project, to have aligned approaches that they can use our methodology, or if someone calculates according to our methodology, it can be used elsewhere and vice versa. So on the next slide, we can see what we have done so far, or what our 3 pillars at the moment are as in the status quo. We have the PCF methodology, where we have the PCF rulebook. Currently, we are working on the version 4 of this rulebook. And we have also guidance for this rulebook, which you can find on our website to make it easier to use. Then we have the audit and verification pillar, where we have a verification framework which gives guidance how to verify PCF data when you've calculated via the PCF rulebook. And then the third pillar, where we're mainly talking about today, is the PCF data exchange, to keep the exchange between the stakeholders alive, and how it works. If you go on the next slide, Stan, then it's already the last slide. Maybe you can show all of the things, because I already talked about the rulebook and the governance process, where we talk also to other projects, and we also want to have secondary data. We're currently working in a so-called secondary data working group to have aligned emission factors, to have a common database. We are offering PCF calculation software on the one hand, and on the other hand, what the colleagues will present later, the PCF exchange software. The PCF calculation software basically helps you to calculate your PCF, and the exchange software makes it possible to exchange the data there. The audit here in green, I would say we give the framework for auditing the PCFs. Catena-X won't verify your PCF by itself, but we say which verifier will be able to verify your PCF data. We have also a framework for that. And in the end, you can, with all these pieces, you as a part of the supply chain can do your CO2 reporting, or your PCF, your product reporting in the first step. Bill of materials and consumption data, of course, has to come from your own company, but that's something you can measure, and what you have as a physical thing. So this won't be a real problem. I think that's the main motivation behind that. And my colleagues, we have the one slide, the last slide, where you can see how it works. I presented it before. The chain between the raw material producer and the OEM shouldn't break somewhere. So you can use all of the presented solution we will hear now from to report the data to your customer, and the customer can report it to the next, and in the end to the OEM, no matter which solution he or she is using. Yeah, that's basically the chain you can see here. What is very important for data exchange and PCF data exchange and specific. Okay, then
Right.
Stan, thank you very much.
Then we want to come to the part where the application provider can present their apps by themselves. So yeah, please feel free to share over. I think BASF is starting. Then yeah, time's running. Here you go.
Okay. So hi, my name is Thomas. I'm the business owner from the Pacific Catena-X solution Pacific to exchange and calculate the PCF values. And I want to start with a short video without tones, so I can comment it a little bit. So here you can see a real use case which we had with one of our customers and one of his customers, where we exchange already data via our application, and we also exchange the data with other certified applications. So at the beginning, you can share the video later on if you want. We want to place it on LinkedIn, I hope next week, also via Catena. So we want to explain why Catena is so important for us, for everybody. We want to talk deep dive, going to make a deep dive to the use cases. We want to explain that it makes a lot of sense to use it to reduce the internal administration effort. And if we just make a deep dive into Pacific, our own solution, we want to explain how we use it already. So we have an example, which is for a door handle, which we produce from Mercedes. So one of our customers produced the door handle. Mercedes received the door handle. Bitte was the producer of the door handle. And this guy sent the PCF request from Mercedes to Bitte to BASF. We received this PCF request to our own Pacific solution. We answered this request and sent our data to an SAP solution which Bitte was using. And they enrich the data with their own calculation information, like, for example, energy consumption, and sent this information via Catena to Mercedes. So at the end, it was what was already well described at the beginning. We have an interoperable data exchange via Catena. Okay, wait a sec. And on the next slide, what we prepared here, so you know now it works. And now we have here a screenshot of our own solution. This is how it looks like. So you see it's quite easy to handle all the PCF stuff in one application. So first of all, you have only also the component name, the component number, supplier name. There could be also another supplier there. You have the location, because in our case at BASF, we have different PCF values from different regions, and you can just download it via PDF or JSON file, or maybe if you need it as a big CSV file directly from the system. You can also ask for additional PCF requests directly from the tool, and we and also the other Pacific users will answer this immediately. So first of all, we as BASF, we have an internal method. It's called SCOT, Strategic CO2 Transparency Tool. With this TÜV certified calculation method, we have already PCF values for more than 50,000 products available. We address our Pacific solution to the reseller and also to the small and medium enterprises. The main features of Pacific is to maintain the whole PCFs of our own products and share these PCF values with our customers. Our customers or Pacific users will get automatically updates when our product PCF has been changed. You can receive from BASF synchronously our new values. You can send different requests also for products from other suppliers and also for products you never bought from us. It's quite easy. This was our main challenge, to make it as easy as possible to manage and receive all the PCF values along the whole value chain. What we are doing now, we are preparing Pacific to a calculation tool also. That means you will have all the PCF values from the raw material, and in a perfect world, you can just add your process, and we are process experts. If we are talking about injection molding or extrusion processes, we want to build them also in Pacific, and you can calculate your part, like for example, this door handle from our video. If you want to learn more about Pacific, just visit us on our webpage. PCF.com/Pacific. You can just scan the QR code and you can contact me or my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So very quick, faster than your time slot. Yeah, Yannick, we are collecting the questions in the Slido. Please use the link in the chat. We have already a few questions there. So thank you, Thomas. Amazing. And yeah, so IBM next. We have Nicole here already on the screen.
Yes, thank you. Let me get to the screen sharing mode here. Yeah, my name is Nicole Roig. I'm an account technical leader and IT architect for some of our manufacturing clients, and with that, working also in the architecture committee at Catena-X and working together with my colleague Thilo Flekar on the PCF module, which is the IBM InVisi Supply Chain Intelligence. And let me show you what we can bring to the table for you. It's a solution we developed for our own. So IBM is the client zero here because we didn't have anything that helped us with managing supply chain data on the one side and also the PCF data. And with that, as at IBM, we like to provide open tools with open standards. We have an integrated but yet open centralized system to bring together the supply chain data and broader ESG data, such as the PCF data, to manage this and to be accountable and be able to report there. And that's what you also see on the screenshots I provided here. You get a reporting overview on the status of the PCF data that your suppliers already provided to you. And it also provides a workflow where you can exchange where you can handle the communication and data exchange with your suppliers and of course forth and back. And with that, we have an automated product level data request, collection and analysis that enables, of course, fast and easier collaboration. So you can see the status with whom you already exchanged data, what's open, what's already been provided. Of course, we provide the data exchange via Catena means, but I'm not sure the Catena people will like to hear this, but for those of your suppliers who are not yet engaged, but of course we want to get them engaged into Catena-X, we have also means of web forms and possibilities to load the data into our InVisi Supply Chain Intelligence. And we, of course, support all types of emissions calculations, including hybrid and supplier-specific methods that are product-level-based systems. And as the solution is open, you can connect it to your existing IT environment. So we've had some requests from our Web Methods clients, from App Connect clients, and of course, you can easily integrate into the InVisi Supply Chain Intelligence here. And on the other hand, you get action plans. That's the part of the tracking and working together with your suppliers for emission reduction and to get further insights. So that's the fast path through the tool set. For Catena, of course, and we saw the data flow also in the BASF presentation, is that we support with the tool the communication and exchange in a Catena certified way between the OEM and the supplier, forth and back, so they both can use the InVisi Supply Chain Intelligence to exchange the data. But of course, like for the not ready suppliers, we also provide other means here. What does our tool consist of? And in the beginning, I said we provide an open tool set, and IBM likes to provide open solutions. Is that we partner for the certification with German Edge Cloud with their on-site Catena-X gateway. So we provide the expertise in the workflow and the management of the product carbon footprint data, and we use the on-site Catena-X gateway from on-site here, again, to show our openness for the Catena-X ready and certified data exchange. So that as a quick run through, and hopefully I made you a bit more curious about the solution, and back to the panel. And again, the question and answers, of course, we're happy to ask them later on in the Q&A part.
Thank you so much. So yeah, that's from IBM, and next would be SAP. Nadine already there.
Yeah, thank you, Stan, and also warm welcome from my side. My name is Nadine Kanya. I'm at SAP, the solution head for our Catena-X portfolio, and excited to show you today our SAP Catena-X sustainability solutions, and with that also how it supports you best way on the one side to exchange PCF values, and on the other side also to calculate them along the supply chain. What is it all about? And we heard it already from Till about the scope of the use case. Biggest challenge what we have in sustainability in the automotive industry is that more than 90% of the GHG emissions are scope 3 emissions, meaning that are those which are coming from your suppliers and which you then at the end have to calculate together with your scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. So definitely target here of the use case is to drive your sustainability activities and get also your scope 3 emissions. From SAP side, what you see here on the slide, we have two Catena-X sustainability solutions available. First, it's called SAP Sustainability Data Exchange, where we focus on the request and receive of the PCF values along the supply chain. And then second one, and I think there was already also a question here in the chat, it's called SAP Sustainability Footprint Management, which brings all together your scope 1 and 2 emissions with the scope 3 emissions from your supply chain, and then calculates the final PCF value for your parts and components. Both solutions, what you see here, are Catena-X certified, and with the last one, this is SAP Sustainability Footprint Management, we are super proud as it's the first and currently only Catena-X certified PCF calculator. So, but I would say, let's have a look a little bit on the key capabilities, what we have in the solution. So today we are focusing only on the SAP Sustainability Data Exchange one. So same Catena-X principles as you also have seen in the other solutions. You can proactively request and share really accurate product carbon footprints data, and then automatically collect the primary data for the product carbon footprint calculations. So benefits definitely for you. You have more and more accurate primary PCF data. So replacing then at the end target solution, the secondary data. You have a standardized PCF data request and exchange process, which leads also in addition then what you heard already all about the PCF rulebook to really comparable PCF results across the supply chain. Then for sure, also our solution complies with standards and methodologies such as PACT, and for sure also Catena-X to foster trust. So here also the benefit for you is inside that you really have a standardized approach with one format, which then just simplifies also your auditing process. So calculate once and then have the possibility also to report multiple times. And for sure, you are always up to date. PCF data, you avoid double emissions counting, and also can identify easily the areas where you might have potential for carbon reduction. So here also definitely the benefit, you are always up to date. But I would say now enough for the theory so far. Let's really have a look into the system so that you also get a feeling about the look and feel. And I'm super happy, and thanks here also to our customer Ford, who allows us to show today a real example today. So what I will show you now here in the video is a demo how our customer Ford connects with, is requesting a product carbon footprint with its supplier Flex, and then receives afterwards from Flex the PCF value back. So very quickly, we're starting here on the interface of the Ford solution of sustainability data exchange. You see here the inbounds, you see the overview of the parts they have with the supplier Flex. We have one where we have not yet received or not yet requested a PCF footprint. We have the possibility to add here then a comment and then just click on send. And as easy as that, Ford now has requested the product carbon footprint from Flex. In the back, what you don't see in the solution, that's the full Catena-X mechanism via the EDC. So the EDC in the back is checking if Ford and Flex have already connections and are allowed to exchange value. Then Flex, in that case, I can say, that is what they have already. What we also show later on, they are using another solution from T-Systems in that real example. So here we see also the interoperability. I think the T-Systems colleagues will show this later on. And now they have, Flex has calculated it. And now Ford receives back the PCF value for that specific TCO, what they just requested. They have received now a notification that there's a new PCF value available. So they go back into the system. They have seen that here they have received this, the value, and now they see here the full details of the TCU. You see the general information, the calculation details behind the emission values, kind of data quality, if there are any secondary emissions, and then some further product or specific rules. And here for Catena, so everything all based on the Catena-X principles, and that you have then received a value carbon footprint. And yeah, as it's always in Catena, the question, hey, what is really about, and is it in active use? Yeah, definitely. You have seen it. The solution is available. It's used by our customers. It's in full swing live at our customers. So one example, which you also seen in the former video, is, for example, from Witte Automotive. They are using both the calculator and the exchange tool from our house. And for example, just to give you also some values to see what is behind, they have savings up to 3,000 euros per PCF calculation compared to their previous methodology. And they say they're around 3 to 5 times more efficient. So it's also available on the Catena-X website if you want to get a little bit deeper in, because I have to look on my time, with some further details behind it. And then maybe just to summarize a little bit what you have seen here. Yeah, definitely full commitment from SAP to Catena-X, not only as one of the founding partners, but also highly involved in the Catena-X Association, in the working groups, but also now in Catena-X Next, the second consortia. Here really working together with the OEMs, with the suppliers, with the other business application providers to ensure also full interoperability. Here we have from our side also an easy to use, easy consume solution. It's based and built on our SAP Business Technology platform. It's a separate application without any prerequisitions available. It can be used standalone, but also for sure you have the possibility to integrate it like in the example with the calculator. And yeah, it's super fast to set it up. So invitation also to set it up and test it in a POC. And I think I'm still in time, I hope.
A little bit over, but yeah, we are in total, we are still in time. Therefore, yeah, thank you, Nadine. And I would then ask our next presenter, Siemens, to present their solution, Seagreen.
So yeah, thank you very much. No, wrong screen. Shit. Let's go to the next one.
Now we know you're well prepared, Florian.
Yeah, I know I'm well prepared. Does it share? Yeah. So too many screens. Yeah, I'm Florian Albrecht. I'm part of the Green team at Siemens. I'm responsible for our automotive business and our partnership with Catena-X, where I'm representing us from the very beginning, from the research project until now in the association. With Green, Siemens offers a PCF management system, which is a full-featured PCF management system. And is supporting our Siemens approach, how we are supporting the whole PCF management, the whole product life cycle of a product. Our Siemens portfolio comes from the engineering software, where we are starting to calculate the PCF basically in an early phase in the product development, and then pass on this data with the evolvement of the product until the product is in production. And then in production, we offer also automated calculation, and then the sharing part until the reporting part when we're looking on Catena-X connected to product passport and battery passport solutions. But I want to basically show that a little bit more in detail how this looks like. With Green, we have our Catena-X certified PCF management system, which is basically focused on working with primary data. We are working with primary data from the supply chain that we are exchanging via Catena-X and with other interoperable solutions with customers and suppliers. So we're supporting here Catena-X, and for the cases where we don't have Catena-X or where we have customers that work with multiple industries, we are also supporting the Together for Sustainability ecosystems and the PACT ecosystem, which is hosted by the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. Within Green, we are offering a PCF calculation based on primary data from their own factories and from the supply chain, and we can even enhance these PCF calculations with emission factor mapping, which is supported with artificial intelligence. And we have also integrated CBAM reporting system, so that all where we are needing primary data comes together. To capture this primary data from own operations, we have a module that is capturing all of the data, collecting it from the factories, giving us the gate-to-gate emissions, and those are then aggregated with the emissions from the supply chain that are coming from our suppliers. But this is often the case that customers or companies start in the procurement with PCF management. But in many times, when then they have to also share their own product carbon footprints, then it's getting an end-to-end process where they're basically getting data in, calculating something, and sharing something. And there we have an approach that starts in product development, where we also are already allowing customers to evaluate then the design decisions according to the environmental impact, where they can then already calculate a product carbon footprint and provide an accurate estimate in the proposal phase, and then later on improve with measures in production and transparency in production with their own product carbon footprint. And when they want to get this data, we are offering our PCF calculation solution, which is currently in certification. It already started in Catena-X. This is a very established tool in the automotive industry, which is called Teamcenter Product Cost Management, where you're modeling basically the cost of your product, where you're providing the cost breakdowns to the OEMs. And this tool is enabled, since the modeling process is very similar to PCF calculations, also to simultaneously calculate the product carbon footprint. So you don't need a additional tool. You can integrate this into an existing process, and you have a high efficiency due to the connection to the PLM process to reuse the information that you're setting there with material information, with weights, with volumes. All of these technical data that come from development can be reused there. And of course, these secondary data are then transferred to Green. There you can share them for whole products, or you can use them for components as a benchmark, for example, when you're in procurement, or as long as you don't have primary data from your supplier. Of course, all of our solutions integrate via open APIs in the Siemens Accelerator ecosystem into existing IT, like ERP systems, like PLM, or for carbon reporting solutions that you're using on corporate level, for example. And to enhance this data, we also offer our Siemens Digital Logistics transport emission calculation, where you can also automatically include transport emissions into the calculations. Seagreen itself is the exchange solution. So this is the part which is actually exchanging data in the Catena-X ecosystem. And that's why this is the part where we are interacting with other solutions. And there we are offering on the one side our Siemens integrated full Catena-X connectivity as a service, which brings all enablement with it. Since it's in Seagreen integrated, since it's a part of it, we can enable this automatically within one business day after you press the subscribe button on the Cofinity portal. You don't have any implementation or IT project to set this up. This is fully automatic. But of course, we are also have a custom connectivity where we are setting up the connectivity in the way that the customer does want, from a on-premise EDC until other EDCs as a service. Yeah, and then maybe we can have a short look into the solution. You will find here also the links to have a look on it on your own. So on the one side, we have the management of.
We would be over with the time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, to keep it equal for all the providers.
Okay. Then, yeah, you have a glimpse into the tool. Then I let the other ones take over.
Right. Thank you. Oh, not easy to be the timekeeper here with this exciting topics. But yeah, then we have T-Systems coming up with their solution.
Yes, let me take the screen.
Right.
Hi everyone, so my name is Michaela Drost. I'm the lead data space consultant for our solutions at T-Systems, and I'm happy to present so how we realize the PCF use case for you. T-Systems stands for 12 years in a row IT leadership in the DACH region for the automotive sector, so we are very proud of that. And we have also been developing, let's say, the solution for Catena-X since the beginning. T-Systems stands for backend integration and as well connecting different systems all together, so maximum flexibility and maximum interoperability. As such, we give our, let's say, customers the choice of cloud. We give them the choice, let's say, of the sizing of the solution to which, let's say, applications and backend systems to connect, and also support in the onboarding phase already. So with our 30 plus certified consultants at T-Systems, and help throughout the whole way to the connection, and then also, of course, with managed services and support packages in the global scale that go with it. As such, we have 100 plus organizations onboarded and enabled so far for Catena-X. We have got 20 plus countries with that we are working, and we have also some, let's say, percentages here that we can share. So over the last year, we are proud to say that we also had 99.9% of uptime of all our solutions. When it comes to the use case example of PCF, so there, of course, as you have learned from our, let's say, pre-speakers, different solutions that bring you to, let's say, results. It all depends on what you need and how you would like to organize yourself as well strategically. It all comes back to, let's say, connections of systems, backend integrations, and yeah, so depending on how complex it is for you to find your right strategy, and then also to do the calculations. We've already seen before, so with our pre-speakers as well from SAP, for example, how complex such a thing can be. I don't want to shock you, let's say, with details. I just want to give you one example that we have shown at the IAC conference in 2024, end of the year, where we have shown interoperability and how it all goes together. We worked here together with Ford and Flex, and in order to make that happen, Witte is also, let's say, another example. And we have continually, we're working on, let's say, expanding that chain also into the Chinese Asian countries, for example, in order to make that really a global chain. As said, so it all depends on what you need to do. So do you only want to exchange PCF data? Do you also want to do the calculations? Do you want to serve one use case? Do you want to serve many use cases at the same time? We can cover that. And as such, have built upon this complex construct a very simple, let's say, UI that helps you to, let's say, deal with different use cases in the same connector solution. And if you just have a quick click through the whole thing, you see there's a provide section in the tool, there's a consume section in the tool, you have got some governance policies settled, and you also have got, let's say, the PCF exchange application. If you have got a quick stop here, so for the PCF exchange application, you see you can create PCF offers, you can consume, you can search them, you can also calculate them. If you need to calculate, so we are collaborating with partners here. If you only need to exchange, it's as easy as a drag and drop. And we do all the stuff for you in the background in order to modulate it to the right data format. Just have a look here on how it works. You can then go into your, let's say, provider here, so where you create the offer, you just give it a name, some description. You also look for it on your PC. You just upload it, drag and drop. You see that it's there. You can exchange it, and then you send it. And as such, there are predefined policies as well that you can profit from. And you can also search for offers that you see in a very quick manner here with the VPN number, the part ID number, you can ask for it, and as such also, let's say, search for the PCF offers. As you see, it's made very easy because the goal is that we deal with the technicalities at our end and make it as easy as possible for our customers who may not have so much, let's say, IT experience from time to time. But as said, this is also available for different user groups. At Assistant, we provide, let's say, onboarding support at the first hour, so to say. We help you as well with the registration to Gophinity in order to get your VPN number to get started at all. Then we help you with, let's say, choosing your right connector, so to say, so your connection to the Catena-X system in order to find, let's say, and exchange your data. As such, we have, as said, different solutions in place. We are also collaborating with Bosch and other names that you have here in the webinar as well in order to make that happen. And we also provide, let's say, sandboxes that are also certified in order to try out things, for example. And we are also, as such, an official reseller of the Nova solution. What makes us different, as you see, we can realize different scenarios at the same time. We are supporting you with our, let's say, workforce as well. We are providing solutions that can potentially also accommodate many different use cases at the same time. So meaning one connect and integrate solution to serve the PCF solution, but also to serve a DCM solution, demand and capacity management, or for example, the certificate solution. So many different possibilities to bundle it and to make it as streamlined and easy as possible for you. Okay, and as such, I am through, so happy to help you further if you want to discuss. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michaela. Then this was it with the PCF apps.